Welcome to another home tour by Deconstruct, where we share with you real Reno prices and tips so that you neither think Reno should be super expensive nor should you think it should be super cheap. So I'm very excited with this video because this is an old 4-room resale at Marine Parade that was entirely redone for about 70,000 by this ID called Neo. So the reason I'm so excited is because it's not often that you get such old resale units. Normal houses, maybe not so much remodeling, but there were quite a fair bit being done in this house. So I'm very excited. Let's go take a look. Okay. So when you first come in, you can see that the colors are quite standard. The homeowner actually wanted the light cream beige tone together with the walnut color so that it's actually very easy to match for his furniture, because a lot of furniture, you see all this, it's always this darker wood color. So he chose this for the reason so that it's easy for him to match. So you see this living room area is actually pretty square, but it was not like that to begin with. Actually, when you first walk into the walkway, right, this was actually an old partition room. So the homeowner actually hacked this away so to make the living room actually bigger. And then you see this area where the TV is? This was actually the entrance of one of the rooms together with these rooms over here. So let me explain to you where in a 4-room flat, right, you should have 3 rooms where the 3 rooms are. So the first room, like I said, was originally here. Here was the master. And then you come here. This was a room. And this was a room. So first I open this room. This is a utility room. So remember, this is a utility room. Previously, there was no utility room in the house. So they had to create a space where they could all their storage and all their barang-barang lah, right? And now we go see this room. Nothing much was done for this room. The homeowner wanted to keep it simple, easy, so that they could use it for like their entertainment, host people, games, and so on. So if you see the floor plan, initially, there used to be a niche inside here. Meaning that there's something that eats in so that you have a wardrobe down here. So the ID actually hacked away the wardrobe and pushed the wall out. So there's no more niche over here. The same was done from the other side. As a result, you push this wall forward, the other side, you push the wall backwards. You create this space, right, where the homeowner can then create the utility room. This is how they actually created more storage area for this space. So this was one of the key remodeling that was actually done. Nothing much, you see some electrical plugs and stuff. We go see the other room. So you can see this is the other side of the utility room. Remember, there wasn't a wall here to begin with. There was actually a niche, meaning 它是吃进去的. So what the ID did, hack away the wardrobe, raised up a partition wall. They brought this out so that now you actually have a real partition space, right, for them to put all their storage stuff. So this is how they created the utility room in a house with no utility room. Okay? And then this will then be their master bedroom. So you can see it's actually very, very spacious together with the false ceiling. And if you look at the walls, all these, right, you can see that the walls are very, very smooth. This is the power of plastering, right? Remember I mentioned in my previous video, plastering is to make the wall smooth. Painting by itself, you cannot achieve that outcome. So the reason why it's so smooth is because it has been plastered over. Total cost for this whole house for the plastering was about $3,000, which is very fair in the market. Right? So if you want smooth walls, make sure you get it plastered. Okay? Then you come to this side. So this evidently looks like a room, right? This was actually the third room. You remember outside, I said they sealed off the TV area where there was a door. This room, they combined together with the second room. So that now you have a super big master room. Okay, so you see the lights actually demarcate the special areas that the homeowner wanted. Okay, so we come to the most exciting part of the house where the real remodeling was actually done. This is really my favorite part. How the ID actually crafted this space was really superb. So if you can imagine with me, previously this was just a small entrance. This was just a small entrance to enter into the bathroom. And then if you were to follow me, so you see now it's very spacious, right? Last time, don't have one. Okay, if you follow me, you can see that this is the shower area. And then if I move a little bit back, then this is where you 大便小便 lah, which is where your toilet bowl is. So previously, where I'm standing at right now is a wall, meaning that the shower area and the toilet bowl is actually separated, just like old 4-room resale. Okay, not only that, this walkway used to be like that one. 就是很没有味 one. What the ID did to remodel was actually he pushed out the kitchen wall. This one I show you later on when I turn one round. But because he pushed the kitchen wall out, now there's so much space. So the reason why the homeowner chose this ID is because Neo was the only one who thought of how to remodel this space so that the homeowner has more space to walk in, walk out. If not, it's very, very claustrophobic. Not only that, I absolutely love this part. You see the mirror here? It's diagonal one, same as this standing sink, which is very classy. It's about $800. The reason I like this is because most IDs, I think, they think that, okay, mirror is a flat surface. Flat surface, you should put on a flat surface so that it's flushed, right? But you realize that if I were to put this mirror in any direction, let's say I put it here and the basin is here, right? If I were to wash my hand here, right, I'll always be claustrophobic and I'll always knock this. If I were to put it straight up here, right, the same issue will happen, right? Because my shoulder will always be knocking against this wall. Right? Either way I do, I will always be knocking into something, which is a little bit weird. So the idea thought, why not let's put it diagonal? Which is why I thought it was a very different way of putting the mirror, and now it is so classy. You walk in from here, you know where the basin is. You walk in from where you tap in your bed, you also have the basin, and it's no longer claustrophobic. I really love this part. Oh, but before I walk out, the ID specifically mentioned, he really liked those lights there. You see that small downlight? 它是这样耶，它好像有5毛钱的 coin size 而已But lighting in bathroom is very important to create the ambience, which is why he emphasized that 那个小粒的灯actually is enough to power your bathroom already. So of course you have one downlight here which is in case you really need space or you want to wash the floor. But if not, maybe you can consider one of those small downlights in your bathroom for the ambience. Okay, let's go out. Okay, now I put in the previous photo. So in the previous photo, remember I said the toilet bowl and the shower area is separated. But then now it is combined. How the ID actually did the combination was as follows. You see this display cabinet here? This chill display cabinet got their wine, whatever, whiskey with this LED strip, right? And then you follow me a little bit more. You see this wall here? This was the real wall of the kitchen. So you can imagine with me, 它整个 kitchen previously the wall 是 flat all the way 的，没有 space for this display cabinet or what one. But then you see the wall suddenly come out from there, right? This wall is new. What the ID did was that he took back the space from the kitchen because the kitchen is very, very wide. 它 kitchen 可以放一个人like 1.8 meters at least. So they took back a little space from the kitchen because you don't need that much to give it into the toilet. Then he got the space inside. Then he can hack down the middle and make it into a combined bathroom. So this was what actually they played with. They played with the kitchen wall, which many IDs, as I mentioned, the homeowner chose this ID because he was the only one who thought of this and how to remodel this space. So if you have an old 4-room or 3-room resale, playing with the kitchen wall is one way that you can do to create more space in one or the other area. And on top of that, of course, you have all your display cabinet, right? You can put all your random stuff. So this is really an additional benefit of you playing with the wall. So that's why you see the cost of this renovation, it could have been less than 70k. But because of the remodeling that was being done, 每次你要盖掉一个门you need to hack, then you need to make good, or you need to fill the wall. This is where a lot of the cost is being generated from. But for your day-to-day living, because it's your home, of course you want it to be comfortable. So that's why sometimes you might want to spend a little bit more on these areas so that it makes your life so much easier. It's one whole circle in the house. You're not stopped at anywhere. Okay, so that more or less wraps up the home tour for today. It's just a few ending notes. So you can see 70,000 for a 4-room resale that was redone is actually a very fair price. And what I wanted to show you every time when I put the cost out there, right, is to show you for what fair pricing should the scope of work be so that you can compare, so that you won't jiak by those people who charge like 30 or 40% margin, whatnot. I know a lot of people in the comment always say like, what, 70k expensive whatever not. But I'm just trying to be very genuine and honest right here to tell you that it's really a fair margin and we really look at their costing. So one example I can give you is, the homeowner appreciated the ID, right, for keeping the doors. Because instead of building new doors, the ID recognized that those doors there, right, they might look a little bit old but they are very, very good, solid wood quality. So they just painted over it and then they just patched it back, which helped the homeowner save cost Each door down here will be about maybe $800. So what for you spend the price when you already have something that's ready made of good quality material? So that's why I say it's important that you look at the price together with the scope of work. Not just whether the house chill, not chill, whether they're trying to talk to you or whatnot. So in short, reliability is really very important, and that includes fair pricing. So if you are looking to shortlist reliable IDs or contractors, feel free to check out our website over here. And if you are looking to work with Neo, you can just tell us when we reach out to you after you have inquired. Okay, Ken, so that's all we have for this episode. Till the next episode. Thank you.